In this lesson, we're going to look at fragments. Fragments are a way of organizing our UI. They're particularly effective for tablets, but they can be used on phones. We can have a layout that has multiple fragments, and each fragment can be controlled by its own activity. In our example, we're going to have a list fragment and a detail fragment. So anytime an item is selected in the list, the details of that item show up. The source for that is very simply a fragment object, and it has a name with the activity name that controls the fragment. And of course an ID, and then the rest are just layouts. And we've laid them out in a horizontal linear layout. Our list fragment is simply a text view and a list view. And you would lay these out in the normal way just like you would on a regular layout for an activity. The detail fragment just has text views for name, email, and phone. Our main activity has essentially nothing going on in it whatsoever. All of the work done is in the fragment. Our list fragment has a reference to the detail fragment, and we'll get to that. It has our list view and then some private variables for the username and number that we're going to pass. And when we create it, we set up our list and populate it with users, just using a simple string array adapter. So nothing special there. And then when the item is clicked, we get that adapter, and we get the item at the position in that adapter, and we get the user number. And we're storing those in variables. And then we're going to get the detail fragment, which we're essentially partnered with. And we do that by using the fragment manager and find fragment by ID. It's kind of similar to find view by ID in that we're looking for something by an ID and we're typing it. So in this case we're looking for our detail fragment, and we get that object, and our detail fragment has a couple of members for username and user number. So if you're familiar with Windows Forms code, this is actually kind of similar in that if you think of the fragment as almost a form or a class, it has properties that we can actually access. Now our detail fragment code has the three areas, and then the properties for username and user number, and we just populate the appropriate text boxes. You'll note I'm just kind of faking out the email there. So let's see that run. So here's our list fragment, and here's our detail fragment. Now I've got this in a phone emulator, but I think you can see the value if it was landscaped on a tablet, how you could use the real estate in a more efficient way using fragments. So when I select Jim Johnson, I get the details. Or William Jordan, again the details. So in this way fragments can communicate with each other. Fragments were new in the 3.1 version that was focused on tablets. So if you're going to target 2.2, you'll not be able to use them directly.